It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. It's the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. It is the first of the month, May 1st. Rabbit. Did you do that when you were a kid?
I didn't do it when I was a kid. I did it later in life. But
Why did you do it later in life?
I don't even know. I think someone in high school. And I never really did it.
I learned it with K. Marco.
They might have been then.
You used to say rabbit on G-Chat, and I was like,
yes, that might be it. That might be it.
Early going when I didn't know who he was, I was like, okay, weirdo.
Yeah.
And then I realized it's a thing. Pavs doesn't have a seat because Vinny just jacked it. We got a new guy in the mix, and he's gonna steal Jackie's job in the next couple weeks, and he stole Paz's chair day one. This guy's a mover and a shaker. Wally Pipp's got nothing on Vinny. Oh, you're Italian, huh?
Oh, God. All right. Vinny,
you're going to have to really...
I guess we still got fucking Pavanelli, so...
Yeah, that's true, but he's, I don't know.
You're white passing.
Yeah, you're just kind of white. He looks like a guinea. You don't look like, speaking of slurs... No.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to it.
Literally, yes, but...
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. We'll talk. We'll wrap things up
I'm just
first.
very quickly going to say the Bruins stink. That's about it.
David Portnoy said he's not calling this a choke.
Why? Because it's hockey?
Yes.
It's crazy. That doesn't make any sense.
He said...
I honestly don't know that hockey's the most unpredictable, but it's obviously up there.
I think what hockey has is the most one seeds ever to lose. But like the NBA has 5 now. I think hockey probably has like 10.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. I think it is weird that the Lightning, when they had the best record of all time, they got swept, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. There is some crazy. I think the Kings made the finals as an 8 seed, right?
Won it, I believe, with Jonathan Quick.
Yeah, right. That's happened in the NBA, but not, crazy. The Knicks did it in a lockout year. Every example of craziness I think other sports have had, I think hockey has just had more of it.
It's more regular.
And everyone always knows. It's funny, being around the internet long enough, there's a few takes that are, like if you think that saying, all you need is a good goalie in the playoffs in hockey, and a goalie gets hot and stands on his head, anybody can make a run. It's like there was a time where I think like people didn't know that or say that much. It's like we know now.
Yeah.
Everything's been said on the internet that can be said about sports.
But that's not what happened here.
No, well, no.
Yeah.
And that's I saw somebody saying that, and they were like in a tweet, and then in parentheses like, not that that's what's happened here, but it's like, well, then why
bring it up?
I get that anything can happen. I think Dave's point was that the Bruins were not predicted to do anything this year. And I was like,
they weren't, but then they became the best team of all time
for like 7 months of playing hockey.
From game 1 to game 82. It was just the Bruins were a fucking wagon.
Well, Dave told me, now listen, you don't watch, so you don't know. And I think he said that the Florida
they didn't lose at home until 2023. The season started in October 2022.
Florida was a good team like last year, and
they were good. They were very good. They were the 1 seed last year. They won the President's Cup last year.
Same crew of guys. All this bullshit.
Not quite the same crew of guys.
And I get. You can make the argument that like
not quite the same crew of guys at all. They got Matthew Tkachuk in this offseason. That was this offseason, right? Yeah, I'm like. But I'm saying assistant captain.
But they got better.
They got better. They also lost fucking Claude Giroux. They lost.
But what it was is but it's somebody who didn't watch it all and then came in and is like, this isn't that bad. It's like. If you watch some Brady games like Feidelberg did, he goes, "Who are you? Who are you to say you don't watch them?" I'm like, I'm sitting next to a guy who, told me it's a fucking unmitigated disaster. And I think we need that in this world.
Particularly with the fucking
out here saying it's like, no, it's not a big deal.
It's probably. I don't think it's Bergeron's last year, but that might have been the last time we ever see Patrice Bergeron play hockey.
I think Bergeron played like 5 more years.
I think he'll probably. It's
sick.
It's one of those ones. It's like it just sucks that like we've been saying run it back for 10 years.
Right.
They blew 2013, another Boston. Like I said this in my video last night, but like people don't know heartbreak like Boston sports fans know heartbreak.
Yeah, play the video.
Greatest failure of all time. Fucking disaster. And I know there are a lot of people who think that they have a tough sports life and that their teams suck and that they never win and yada, 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 yada. You don't fucking know, man. You suck all the time. You suck every day. You never have hope. You just wake up, you suck. You go to bed, you suck, and that's fucking life. The heartbreak that I have had to endure that Boston sports fans have to endure. And I'm not talking about like fucking Curse of the Bambino shit. Go 20 years back. Start at Aaron Boone. You go Aaron Boone, you go 18-1, you go Mario Manningham, you go Philly special losing the Super Bowl to a backup quarterback. You can go fucking 17 seconds to Chicago. You can go, where are we at, 5? You could go blowing a 3-0 series lead, become like the third or fourth team in the history of sports to do that. Blowing a 3-0 series lead to the Flyers. You can just keep going and going. It's nothing but heartbreak. It's every fucking day. If you come to me and you say you know heartbreak and you know sad sports shit, have you lost the greatest season of all time in 2 separate sports? Have you blown that? Have you blown the greatest season of all time in 2 separate sports? Have you blown that? Then don't talk to me. If you haven't blown that, then don't talk to me.
It is. I think I only listed 6. I listed Boone, 18-1, Mario Manningham, Philly special, 17 seconds in Chicago, 2013. 2010 became the third or fourth team ever to blow an 3-0 series
Flyers.
lead. That I didn't even touch on losing a game 7 in 2019 to the Blues. I didn't touch on
Red Sox collapsed in September that one year and blew a 10-game lead.
chicken and beer. I didn't mention the Celtics because I don't know much, but they've lost 2 championships.
Mhm.
Like there's a ton of just absolute soul crushing heartbreak.
There's also something about
It's the focal point is 2 separate times in 20 years we've blown the best season in a sports history.
but you know what? I would say like
It's not to say there are good things. Obviously,
It's
it's very
just
good to be a
strange.
Boston sports fan too. But like,
the 18-1, 73-9, this team, the Lightning before that, the Mariners in 01, except for the Bulls. In the modern era, when you break the record as like the best team in the sport, you don't win.
yeah,
It's kind of
And
weird. Isn't that
it's weird.
bizarre?
People like to say it's because that they weren't tested. They weren't tested. They weren't battle tested. I disagree with that wholeheartedly because when you're the best team in the league, like, and you're trying to break the record, and they weren't trying to. They were so clearly going to break the record, it didn't make sense not to. Like, it was just like,
Well, Dave, according to Dave and PK Subban, the only reason why the Bruins were good is because they tried hard.
sure, yeah,
It was crazy. Dave just kept saying. Dave said, if you try hard, you'll beat the other team, and that accounts for 10 to 15 extra wins in the regular season if you try hard. I was just like, I guess.
They also
I can
sat
understand-
their stars for like the last 3 weeks of the season. Like it was
I didn't want-
not regular. Like it was a rotating cast because there's so many stars on the team.
I wasn't going to get
but-
into it because I don't know, but I remember you telling me when they left their fucking first line at home. And
Yeah.
shit like that. So it's like, no, they weren't like trying extra hard. They didn't do anything special. They just clicked and they were amazing. And the unthinkable happened. And it's like, I guess you could say in hockey, it's not the unthinkable. It's the improbable, but it happens in hockey. But that doesn't mean it's not a choke, and that doesn't mean that it's not just a soul crusher. I mean,
it was awful. It was awful.
Hats off to you. We did 3 cities, 4 flights in 4 days. Came home to a fucking hurricane. I don't know about your trip home, but I saw a dead dog.
I
on the side
saw
of the
you.
road.
I saw that. I didn't watch
I
it. 'cause
thought it
didn't
was
wanna
roadkill,
see it.
and the guy driving goes, "That was a dog."
Oh my
And I was like,
god!
"What?"
The
Car stuck, people outside in the rain. It was a literal like biblical end of the world shit.
the
You're
drive
trying
from
to get
JFK to
office.
Manhattan was like everything was one lane. 'Cause there was so many
Yeah.
so much flooding that like.
Did you get there
everything-
like in time for the game?
I got there like 10 minutes before the game. So
Yeah. So I mean, it could not have been a worse scenario. And then you walk home in the rain. John, you forgot his keys as well, but he had backups. If you got locked out of your
Dude,
house, I think you would have killed yourself.
I would have drowned myself in a puddle of scum. Like it was, because I have a lockbox, so it ended up being okay. But there was that moment where I never used my lockbox, so I
Yeah.
like forgot I had it, and like there was that moment of like, oh my god,
Yep. Yeah.
I don't, I wasn't gonna walk back.
No. No. I mean, that's either you. Just
I don't know what I would have
get hit
done.
by a car
I
or you
was
just
not
drowned,
walking
yeah.
back. I was, dude. My apartment right now is I went full bear last night. I don't. Dude, I was awake for a while. I probably didn't fall asleep till like 1 a.m. I got home at let's say 11:30 or something like that. I have clothes, like my pants are here, my socks are over there. I got a bag of mangoes here. I got blue corn tortilla chips over here.
We talked about it on our live show, but we haven't really said it here. John has become Cocaine Bear. He's just a bull in a china shop, and it's
multiple blankets thrown. I didn't even know I had Bunch of Crunch. I don't know where I got Bunch of Crunch.
Did you go to the movies or something?
I don't know. It must be from an old movie. I don't know where I got it.
Yeah, yo, eating Bunch of Crunch in your house is insane.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think I've ever even seen Bunch of Crunch.
It's definitely from a movie. I don't know when. I don't know what movie I've seen last.
Smuggled it home.
I don't know where my unconscious body found it, but it's somewhere. I ate a bunch of Bunch of Crunch
at home.
It is. It's crazy. I was wondering, like, I don't even understand where all this came from.
Yeah.
And then when I got home, I tweeted this too. But like after I found the lockbox and walked up to my door, there was a note on the door. I just got home and now I have a whole new issue. There's this note on the front door, and let me see. It says, "If you got flowers delivered on 4/29, please text me at," and then their number, and then down here it says, "They were my B-Day flowers," with a frowny face. Like 3 people live in my building. So there's one person who didn't get their B-Day flowers. There's the other person who I'm sure is giving their alibi. So that means the flowers probably got delivered to me, but they're not here. I didn't get them. I've been in Texas. So now, do I text this person and say, "Hey, I wasn't here, sorry"? Because that sounds an awful lot like a text someone who stole your flowers would send. But do I just ignore them and let them think forever that I stole their flowers? There's no way out of this. Like, I'm just the only other person. But I wasn't here. So I don't know who the... That said, something to the effect of, if you got flowers delivered on 4/29...
Oh, right.
It was like, and it was heavily taped to the door. Like, this person wants them. If you got flowers delivered on 4/29, please, caps lock, call me at insert number. And the bottom is a bit of a PS. It says PS, or "They were my birthday flowers," with a frowny face.
Now, wait, before you, like, does anybody else here think that would be a big deal? If there was a note that said, "If anybody got flowers, just let me know."
Now, but here's the deal.
John was fretting over this.
There are 3 people who live in my building. The other 2 are women upstairs. I'm on the first floor. They're on the second, third. There are 3 people who are women. I imagine that a woman sees that note and is like, "Oh my God, that's awful.
Jacqueline?
I gotta tell her it wasn't me." And so she would
John
reach out.
thinks he needs to clear himself as the
because I'm the only other person.
I think to me it's like, if you got it, you have to tell me, and if not, your silence means like you don't have it. But I do get that there's only 3 people in the building, so it's like Janet probably called her up and said it's not me. And,
like,
and
I'm sorry,
going,
sweetheart. That's
I bet that fucking weirdo downstairs who sounds like a bear every night is the one who stole it.
The guy with an empty bedroom that just has a boxing thing in it who regularly
But they
beats
don't
it.
know that.
Oh, they hear me hit that. Kevin, it shakes the whole building. I'm not kidding.
They probably call you like Earthquake.
It is. It's like I only do it.
I think you're like the whale.
I only do it like 20 minutes, like 3 times a week. But like for 20 minutes, 3 times a week, that building's banging.
Yeah.
Dude. Like I've knocked paintings off my own walls. I know they feel it everywhere.
So you think? I don't know. I just wouldn't feel the need to have to respond to that.
I think you're overthinking it.
I'm sure I'm overthinking it, but it doesn't. But it's what's happening.
Yeah.
Say it. Just don't be sus about it. Just be like, I didn't take it.
That's suspect. Because guess what? It was Saturday.
It is. That's what I mean. Because she's not saying, "I need everyone to call me and like give me your alibi or something." She's just like, "If you have them, let me know. You don't have them, don't let her know."
She knows it's me.
You could say something. What about like, "Hey, I know there's only a couple of us in the building, so just wanted to let you know I haven't seen those flowers, but I'll keep an eye out or something if they do get delivered." There's a reason why to text then.
Yeah.
It's almost like whoever denied it supplied it sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, but if you say to her, "But I'll keep an eye out," or, I'll double check that nobody, make up some shit. So there's like an extra thing like as to why you would have tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, I do get that if you're just like, "Nope, it wasn't me."
No,
It's like,
yeah.
that
All right.
that fucking weirdo stole my
Particularly 2
flowers.
days later.
Yeah.
Like, where you been for 2? Why you waiting
You
2
can say
days?
you're on travel. You're on.
I was traveling. And also, by the way, this I don't know if this is the woman or not because again, there's only 2. but I have met one of them, and she's a person of some notoriety. Like she told me to follow her on Instagram. I did, and she has like a verified account.
Oh,
She's
hey-o.
in Hamilton, and she like has like pictures with Beyonce. And
Bro, what? Yeah, she's someone of note.
and,
She was just in like the biggest Broadway production ever, and she has pictures with the most famous person ever.
and
What's her at, bro?
but she has a lot less followers than me, and didn't follow me.
Oh no!
So she's already suspect. She's not a big
What-
fan of old
Do
Johnny.
you know where at?
I think I know her name.
That is that. Well, how many followers does she have?
Let me find out.
Because like, would she know when you guys get followed? Do you get a
Let me. I think
notification if
it's-
you get followed by somebody big? Is that a
Priority.
thing? Priority. I think I know what that means. I don't really use Instagram the way
I don't know how to
most people
spell her name.
use it. We're so dumb. We're so bad. She's hot. Basically, I want to know if she's hot.
Yeah, she's,
There was a girl who lived below me, who there's a couple people. Have I ever told?
oh wait, she doesn't have she's not verified anymore. Oh wait, yes she is. Yes,
Should
she
I
is. Yes,
take
she
it away?
is. Yes, she is.
Let's see this. Who was she in?
She was. Yeah.
That's a major fucking part. Was I not supposed to say that? Because then you can figure out who she is or something.
I don't.
There's a
care.
lot of different right? Yeah, man. I would be like, you know what I would do? So I would just get her flowers. And I'd be like, I don't know what happened, but you know, someone as talented and beautiful as you are deserves flowers, baby girl. Like, here you go. Here's 24 red roses for my girl. Let me in.
She, but like she.
These are the things we worry about. I don't like people are probably listening at home, and there's probably 50% of the audience is a bunch of anxiety-ridden weirdos who are with you.
That's
and
the
and
one
other
picture
half-
I've liked.
Oh no!
It's with Beyonce, so I liked
I
it.
know, but it's from The Lion King, and they're in like African animal garb. It was her first professional show ever. Good for her. This girl's amazing. How many followers? 19,000. She got a band. John.
Yeah, and she doesn't have flowers.
And she doesn't have flowers.
Anyway,
She's
this
probably like, that white boy stole that shit. That's fucking funny. Do you know if the other girl is black?
I don't know.
That'd be funny if it was just two black girls being like, this fucking white guy stole our
Who
shit.
just beats his walls.
They're probably so afraid of you.
Oh, by the way, she also thinks I killed my ex-girlfriend for sure.
Because she just disappeared.
She's always, I saw her fairly recently.
Right.
She's like, where's your girlfriend? I was like, she's been traveling a lot for work. I just don't want to have the whole conversation. It's just me now, so I just told her. I said, she works a lot.
You're just doing fan fiction.
Bro,
in your
this
head,
chick
bro.
thinks I stole her flowers and killed my girlfriend.
Oh, man. She for sure thinks that. I mean, I always wonder that. Like doormen and if you have a regular at the bar, you have a regular bartender, when you pick up and go, they're just like, oh. I've told the story before, but we once had an intern that we think died. And then he used to talk with Brendan every day almost for a while, and he was really motivated. He was like, I can do this and that, and I'm willing to do anything. And then he disappeared for 10 years. And then we got an email 2 years ago. But yeah, the guy emailed back eventually being like, hey, sorry about that. Handled this poorly. Didn't
Oh, he did get back?
Yeah, 10 years later, he was just like, I'm in over my head, or I was like a dumb college kid, and I just said fuck it, and I ghosted you guys, and I shouldn't have done that. And I'm sorry. I was like, we're just happy you're not dead.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this is all to say that I had a really tough
rough
night.
night.
last
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
And
And I, as much as I still do disagree with you, I got a little bit of a taste of that. When you're good and you lose and you have the expectations,
but it's
which I
that
always
sucks.
knew was.
But it's also
but it's
it's
the
not it's
great
it's
teams,
it's
extra.
legendary.
Yeah.
It's
You had a
not
chance to-
like I said, it didn't mention the just losing in the championships.
Right.
There's all the losses are iconic losses.
Yeah.
It's not just I those happen too. But I'm not just.
I think you also, it's very rare that like a championship doesn't have some sort of iconic play. It's always
Right.
gonna be an
Yeah,
iconic
yeah.
loss, you know?
The
The Philly special is, the one, and on the other hand, like the Malcolm Butler interception, you were on the right side.
yeah.
So it's like you always have. It's just that you remember the iconic losses more. But I mean, I wept over the Mets. I was a grown man crying afterwards because that like you end up. I don't know if you felt this way or if you just like really enjoyed watching them, but like there were like storylines about the team that I was like relating to, and I was like, if these guys win this championship, it means this, like it represents this thing that I was like really, it meant a lot to me or whatever. It was like this is like a fucking death. All of a sudden, it's like a breakup. If you dated somebody for like 6 or 7 months and fell in love with them, and then they were gone, it's like that's what happens. And you can get fucking emotional over that shit, and it's stupid and it's dumb. But I mean, and for you to have to do all that on camera, that was inhumane what they did to you. And not what they did to you, it was your choice. And I saw people being like, I tweeted it out. I was like, John did 3 cities in 3 nights with 4 flights, and then he has to go to Game 7, and they're like, oh, like, there are ditch diggers and fucking mason builders who are, whatever. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you dumb goddamn assholes. I know at the end of the day it's not a big deal, but that's what we do as fanatics. We're nuts. We cry and scream and yell over this shit. We assign too much emotion to it. That's
I
what we
fall
do.
and hurt my knee.
Yeah, really you felt bad.
Oh wow! Yeah, help him up. Come on, Jake, help him up.
Dude, I got the middle and I take
Big tree fall hard,
and it was like it hurt. I have an injured knee.
You just reached for you overreached for
I
a
like
high five.
stepped. I was wearing it just in my socks, so like I also stepped on something that
You
like
went down.
it kind of made me fall like lose my balance a little bit,
Oh no!
and then I gave Hank a second high five, and that was.
Are you gonna need like surgery because of your fucking
when
performance?
I woke up at like
chair?
3 a.m. to go pee, I was like, because I hadn't moved it in so long.
You're like, oh no!
I was like, oh, this is broken.
One of the worst feelings in the world when you do something dumb like that.
Did you see someone pointed out you sound like Frank from Sunny when you fall?
No.
No, that's fucking great. Yeah. That's exactly what Frank does.
But here's what I will say about all this. That sometimes, like you were saying with the iconic wins, the iconic losses, life always finds the balance. And I woke up this morning at 10 a.m., which is late. And I was like, I couldn't get out of bed. And I was like, am I depressed? Am I sick? Like I could not get out of bed. And then I got a text from you.
I actually called you first because I wanted to say it.
Oh, fuck. I didn't see that.
I was so excited.
Sometimes the do not disturb giveth and taketh away.
I was going to say, I don't know whether you need to incorporate it into a skit or on stage or or blog about it. Having to call everybody twice is so fucking annoying.
Oh,
now.
I've gotten in genuine fights about it with like people I was seeing.
Like I called you or they called you?
No, I called you. I was like, do not. I was like, figure out a way how I'm not on do not disturb.
Yeah.
Because
you can do
that second call
is so annoying.
Like I know it's
and you
coming.
have to do it like fast enough, right?
Yeah,
I think
I know I have to do it.
Yeah,
but I was like,
so annoying.
And it's like it's just like, and I'm on the other side of it now. I'm like, it's just helpful for me.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't care.
I know.
It's not helpful for me then.
The double call is one of the. Yeah, it's like the ATI question. That what are you most surprised about 5 years later? It's like that you have to call everybody twice.
Yeah.
But I sent the text instead, and it's a text I never. Well, not never. Not in my wildest dreams. In my regular dreams, it was probably there,
bro. It was. I have been laughing at Ben Mintz saying the N-word all fucking morning. It answers the question. Is a white person saying the N-word funny? It's hilarious.
Is that a question?
It is. It made me think of the Showtime show Talking Funny, which was Ricky Gervais, Louis C.K., Jerry Seinfeld,
yes,
and Chris Rock.
Yes, when they start dropping it hard.
And they're talking about like, is like the like I think Seinfeld says to Louis C.K. something along the lines of like, well, you see the humor in it, and he's like, yeah. And this was a long time ago. It was like 10 years ago, and it's probably like 15 years ago. And then like they're saying it, and Louis actually is describing one of his bits where a guy makes a coffee, and he goes, "Oh, that N-word made the shit out of my coffee." One of his least favorite bits of mine. Like I never got it. I don't know why that was. He thought that was funny. It just I don't. Like, it was obviously not me, a white man. I'm not offended by it, but I was just like, I don't think this is funny.
Mm-hmm.
I have finally found a funny clip of a white person saying the N-word.
Ugh.
It is uproarious.
It's just,
It's
and I know there are certain
Yes.
people who have a zero tolerance policy, and that's fine. And I know there are people who are going to just clip, him saying it and no apology or anything, and just when you hear and see him say that word,
You
you're
can't
gonna get
clip
upset.
his stroke. He has a stroke. Ben Mintz printed the lyrics, the explicit lyrics to First of the Month, saw the N-word and was like, all right, brain, when you see that, say something different, and thought it was going to go okay. He's
Let's watch it.
I want like it's one thing on our show. I feel like we have a little more fun with things, and you can't really take things to social media. But man, did I want to tweet Stella Blue that my light roast was acting a little dark today. Excuse me, can I file a complaint? Dude, it was unbelievable.
It's the way he says it and the way.
Should we start putting this? Should we start putting "Wake Up Mincy" on the Barstool N-word feed?
He Ron Burgundied himself into a racial, into a fucking. I know people who hate it are gonna hate it, but if there's ever a point, if there's ever a situation where context and intent and all that comes into play, it's this. Fuck, God damn.
Mincy after he said the N-word sounds like me after I fall.
and honestly, if you were like, if you went to Hollywood and you said, all right, like here's what's gonna happen in the pilot. There's this guy, he does a morning show. And the whole fan base gets on him for pre-recording a morning show. So the next day, on that next week, he's got to do it live for the morning and really prove that it's live. And he says the N-bomb. They'd be like, get out of here.
Yeah,
That script is too
They're like, no, you don't
unrealistic."
understand. This man is the human form of Kevin carrying chili. Got something good. Got something good.
And just the mere fact, by the way, Ben Mintz trying to recite Bone Thugs lyrics in and of itself is hilarious. Like nobody can recite Bone Thugs lyrics. It's goddamn impossible.
Kevin, I'm glad you said that. Nick, could you bring us out the explicit Bone Thugs lyrics, please?
No.
Let's do it. Let's see how far we
Do
can go.
you know the song?
I have no idea what this. I mean, I
You've never-
know.
oh.
I know. Wake up! It's the first of the month.
The verses are so hard to read. We're gonna end up saying it.
This is so long. I'm sorry, we're not live. I actually, when Mintz pre-recorded a show the other day, I tweeted like shirts that go hard. Had a shirt that was like things I hate. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. It's things I hate. Give me a second. Here's things I don't like: racism, 9/11, society, and I photoshopped and added pre-recorded morning shows. So now I have to do an update where I cross out pre-recorded morning shows and put a question mark after racism. I'm on the fence. Oh man, give me. Let me see those real quick.
Hang on.
I just wanna do
Wait,
a verse.
quick side note. Something very funny is PFT did ban him from saying certain words this episode. He was not allowed to say pardon, my, or cheesesteak. So that was in his head the whole time. Like, I know I can't. There's a chance he walked away being like, I didn't say it. Like, I didn't say those words.
I'm gonna switch the N-word with Mincy every time.
That's okay. Let's do that. Let's just open up with you singing
Okay, this
first
is
of the month. It's hard.
this
to
is
rap
a verse
song.
by. I'll do the verse where they say the N-word the most. seems like it's this one by Wish, maybe. I can't. I mean, well, we'll take time. I'll actually count. 1, 2, 3, 4 by Crazy. 2 by Busy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by Wish. Seems like it's Wishes is the winner. So here we go.
And you know, you've heard Bone Thugs songs before. You know how fast they rap. You know,
Oh, I gotta
how
go fast too.
bro.
Okay.
Oh, dude, this is so fast it doesn't sound like words.
All right. I also I can't read, so.
Are we playing the song?
No, I'll just go. I'll go. I don't even know what the beat is.
Okay. This is just this is KFC Radio, just welcoming you into May or April. What is it? May? Yeah, it's gonna be May.
Oh yeah, first lyric is perfect. It's the first of the month. Gotta grind. Gotta get mine. I'm in the hood. And I claim. I slang on the double nines. Gotta find them dubs. Gonna get a 40. Can the thug get a love? What's up? Try to stand in my corner. Mincy use a goner. St. Clara Mincy's don't go like that. And selling them dummies, making that money come back. Mincy get pap pap. From the 1st to the 15th, Mincy smoke plenty weed. But I gotta save up. Gotta come up. Put my rocks on the cut. Wanna get high? Mincy blaze that blunt, huh? Time to roll in the pad, count my profits, add it to the stash. Gotta watch my backseat for the mincies that's trying to rob me, fool. But never go no shorts, never no losses. Dumping, keeping these mincies off of me. Got shirts the whole block, spent a couple bills. Thug smoke got a lot of weeds on the first. Gotta keep these mincies off me.
Oh my god. I mean, the fact that we now have Mincy's is just. What up, my Mincy's? It already kind of sounds like it's just so fucking perfect. My Mincy's.
Oh,
He
God.
was distraught, dude. He was distraught.
Funniest thing I ever seen,
He
man.
was. I would have if you showed me. I would have if you just showed me that out of context. I'd be like, did this guy kill somebody? Is he apologizing for like manslaughter? Oh my god! Gotta keep these mincies off me. Oh boy! All right, so we're back in New York. From what I think was our most successful road trip ever.
I think so.
I think those were our best shows ever. I think we've gotten exponentially better at being on stage, while also this week just provided us with great
That is
material.
the fun part of the trip is that we just like kind of create a show on the. It's like the show in Boston will be completely different.
Yeah.
where it's just like
I think that we are entering a time where live podcasting is about to get its some respect. I think
Dude, HBO just paid for Smartless to do their tour, and they're gonna like stream it.
who's that?
That's-
Smartless.
fucking Arnett and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Bateman.
I think that it's like anything else. Like in the beginning, blogging and then eventually podcasting was kind of like viewed as like this sloppy, silly hobby,
Mhm.
whatever thing. And then when comedians start to do live podcasts and they kind of go like, "Oh shit, these are hard tue." You know what I mean? Like I think it was almost like, you know, and I still think stand-up comedy is like the better of the two, right? Good stand-up comedy at least.
Of course.
But you know, we go up every time with a different set. You know,
You
that's
brought up a good
totally
point.
different, but
where like no, I mean like we started with something in Houston and then we added in Dallas and we added
right.
for
By the
Austin.
time, if we were to do a true tour, where like we did like 20 cities in 30 days or something like that, by the 20th episode, by the
6-hour
20th
show.
night, huh?
6 hours.
It would, yeah. It would be there'd be jam packed because it'd be like, guess what happened yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. And I you know, we kind of when we go on these trips every month, we make sure that we go to do a certain thing each day. I don't even know if I should say we make sure. We just end up doing things that day. And when you live life and you're around these like people like this, like weird shit happens. Like you hang out with your mincies and just shit pops off, and like you have material for that night. And I think we've like kind of nailed the format, and I don't know how I've been saying we need to like get the perfect hype video or like highlight reel or whatever, because they just need the audience, like the people to know to buy tickets.
Oh,
Because
speaking of that, we should send cases of pirate water If you were the dudes dressed up as Amsterdam, me,
Yeah.
and the pirate, we're gonna get you.
We
Yeah,
gotta
no,
get we gotta get
we're already
Allison
on
with the
that.
Yeah.
T-shirt. We gotta get the pirate.
Yeah.
The
Anyone who shows out
that's
for
what's
the
cool.
live
So
shows,
like
we'll get you hooked up with some pirate
Allison and Aaron, I'm sending some stuff.
our
stuff
first
to.
show in Houston,
The engaged couple.
engaged couple.
Couple came to our show. They fucking Irish goodbye
yeah,
their own
let's-
engagement party.
Let's do the highlights.
Yeah.
The highlights. I think what really makes the show is the shit that we run that you can't see on the podcast, and then like the audience becomes part of the show. And we had, I think that's why I say it was our most successful. I think we had our best crowds ever from just a laughter point of view, but also like they were part of the show.
Yeah.
The first night we did the now infamous French fry Holocaust question voicemail, and this girl stands up and there's kind of like a commotion in the crowd, and then like the lights go on, and she's got a shirt on. Oh fuck! I meant to bring it in today. Fuck! I left it at my house. A shirt that has Star of David greater than McDonald's arches, and
The only way you can wear the shirt in public, but it is inaccurate.
yeah, it's just factually incorrect. I'm sorry. We did the math. The arches absolutely trounces the Star of David. If you want to say that, the Jewish people are better than McDonald's, we can have that debate as well.
Yeah, we'll have the debate.
Would you like? I mean, on the one hand, you have a Big Mac and French fries. On the other hand, you have like Larry David. Yeah.
We both went to one.
Yeah.
And
Larry
after that, it becomes real
Jerry
cornflake.
Seinfeld. I just think that McDonald's roster is deeper.
You
know?
than the Jewish people.
Yeah.
I think the Jewish people catch a lot of flack that they don't deserve.
I'm just saying, there's just not as many. But so that girl dressed up, and then that girl's fiance pops up, and he's like, "Hey, I got an Am I the Asshole for you. Am I the asshole for finding my soon-to-be wife's mugshot and sending it to her friends to print on a T-shirt for her bachelorette party? Part 2, am I the asshole for sending said mugshot to KFC Radio and then going to their show, and bam, Nick goes into the DMs, and we find on the fly the mugshot that
For
he
theft.
found for shoplifting.
When you bump into someone who wasn't arrested for drinking and was arrested for something entirely different, it's quite jarring.
But I was so happy that it was shoplifting.
Yeah, if it was
because
like, I got
this
drunk when I was
girl,
17. Who cares?
she was yelling. She was like, "I've never even seen my mugshot," and so I was thinking like, this is something that is like she wants to forget, and it is in her past. And I didn't know what the crime was going to be. It's like she's arrested for like battery or some shit, beat up a kid. She's a teacher. She like beat up a kid in school or something. Turns out it's just shoplifting because every girl in the world. Did you go through a shoplifting phase, Jackie? Microphone. You never stole anything? This feels like one of those things where Jackie would be like, "Well, I stole like all those clothes from Macy's, and I did this, I did that."
No, I know. I mean, like I won't scan at some things.
Oh, that doesn't count. I never.
Well,
I stole my
there's-
pizza in Austin. I went.
I'm just trying to think what the
I
hotel
called up
is
the place that we
specifically.
went. I loved that pizza. So the second night, I wanted that pizza
okay,
again.
okay.
So I called them, and I was like,
thinking Houston.
because that was like a bar.
Yeah,
It had food, but it was a bar. So I called them, and I was like, "Do you guys do takeout? Because you're not really a takeout bar."
Yeah.
And they said yes. So I said okay, and they were like, "We're gonna put it in 2 different boxes because we don't have like pizza boxes on hand." Very clearly, like they're not in a takeout
Yeah.
place. So I get there, I ask the hostess. The hostess is like, "You got to go to the bartenders." The bartender's like, "You got to go to the hostess." Eventually, I get someone who's like, "It's coming out," and eventually they just put a bag at the end of the bar, and I go and I grab it, and I look at her, and she's like, "Bye," and I look at the bartenders, and I'm like, "Bye," and it was commotion.
Sorry.
What was that, Jacqueline?
For salad.
It was headphones.
Oh, is it her salad?
I mean, it hurt her salad box.
it
then.
hit
Oh, I wish it
Mm.
went everywhere. And so I just walked out.
I like
She's like,
that.
"I don't know, I tried.
Yeah.
I tried many times."
If I put
even
in,
said, "Can you ring me up while we wait?" And he said, "No, I'm busy making drinks." I was like, "I tried."
I put if you put in the college effort, like if you
Yeah.
went to the scanner,
Yeah, and,
You went
and
to
the
that.
machine breaks, or
Yeah,
you have to
like,
plug it
alright.
in. I'm like, "Nope, I'm just
Take it.
stealing these grapes or whatever." the fuck it is. So we had the T-shirt plus the mugshot. In Austin, we had a guy dress up in the Pirate Water costume, as well as the Feidelberg Amsterdam costume, which never crossed my mind, is going to be a smash hit at Halloween.
Yeah.
It's a long time. We'll have to remind the people in the fall through,
So
whatever
that's how you know it's
social
a
media,
great
whatever.
costume. You got to remind people.
It was just so early though, but this kid pulled that fit off.
Yeah,
He had the
I told
blue
him I was like
over
joking. I
jacket.
thought we were like fucking around with each other, and I was like, get off stage. You look too good, and then he just did.
Just got
And
off
I
stage.
felt bad about
They
that.
were only up there
but-
for like 20 seconds.
Yeah,
It was so weird. I was like, I had a million questions for you guys. There was the green boots couple. There was the engaged couple that I've never seen anything like this. This guy stands up, this other guy, and he's like, we were doing Q&A. That's another thing. We get very interactive with the audience these days. And he says, am I the asshole for leaving my friend's engagement party early? No, just skipping it.
No, left
altogether.
early. He left early.
Left
Yeah.
early to come to this show right now. And as he's doing it, this couple that's 2 seats down
Yeah, right.
from him go, we are an engaged couple, and we left our engagement party early, left all of our friends and family at the house, and just came here. And that poor bastard, he just got his question shit
he
on.
was really trying to get it through, and it was
He-
like
oh,
this couple left their party. It's
you're out, dude. He kept being like, so wait, am I the asshole? It's like, you're the asshole right now for not understanding that your story just got trounced, dude. Absolutely fucking murdered. Sorry to tell you, man. It's over. And so it was just like, the best crowds we've had.
Also, lest we forget, the woman in Dallas who during the meet and greet came up to us and said she was going to cry. And I said, don't cry. I'll cry too. And then I said, just kidding. I don't feel feelings. And then she said, well, my boyfriend just died and he's the one who introduced me to this show. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to cry. But that was a lie because I actually can't feel feelings because I really was trying to cry. But she was awesome.
I was sad.
That
But it was
was
sad.
incredibly sad.
That
And
was
she was awesome.
That was cool too, though.
And
I mean,
R.I.P. to I don't think we got
was-
his name, but R.I.P. to him.
there was that 6'10" guy. There was that one guy. Did you see the one guy who came up and very loudly was like, I wasn't gonna wait online, but there was a hot chick in front of me, so I stayed, or behind me, so I stayed there. And then that girl came up, and I was like, she very clearly heard that. Like, stay away from that dude. I had the girl come up to me who said, "Do you remember you did a cameo last year for a girl who said that KFC is her hall pass?" And I was like, yeah, like vividly, like vaguely. And she was like, that's me. She was there with her fiance, who very much, I don't know if you noticed this, he was hugging and hanging out and dapping you up. And to me, he was like, hello, nice to meet you. And rightfully so. I wouldn't like me either if my soon-to-be wife was like, the one guy I'm going to be able to fuck outside the parameters of our relationship is this guy right
He's
here,
very
right
attainable.
now. So attainable. So attainable. Like, could have DM me that night. Who fucking knows? We're not talking about goddamn DiCaprio, So that was super awkward. The dead girlfriend, the boyfriend was a tough one. There was that corporate group that like they had like a team
whole
outing.
team, yeah.
Like talk about like, maybe we should take some cues from them on how to do like corporate morale. Go to clubs like you take me to a comedy club like that, I'm in.
Yeah.
By the way, I do want to, by the powers vested in me, I am crowning John Henry Feidelberg the Barstool Beast of the Month. That marathon we had on Monday, last Monday, we recorded for like 7 hours straight because we had to get everything done before our trip. And then we went into, as I said, the 3 shows and 4 flights in 3 days or whatever it was. And then you went into a brutal game 7. You're in beast mode, bro.
Some dozen tonight too.
Some
Big night,
dozen
big.
tonight. Some do the least. John does the
Yeah.
beast. I mean,
Yeah.
he is
Yeah.
just
I'll
deserve
wear,
it.
I'll wear the jacket.
put that on you. Put that
Well.
jacket on me.
I'll wear the jacket to my Tibetan monk party tonight.
Tibetan monk party.
Yeah.
What's that
I'm
mean?
gonna light myself on fire. Was that a Tibetan monk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're big time public
Self-immolate.
self-immolation. Yeah,
Self-immolation,
that's a great word.
yeah.
But it was all in all just an awesome trip. But it's just so funny. You never know. Like the Houston trip was we had all those problems with the tickets, where the club was only selling them in batches of 4 and 6, so the tickets weren't moving. At the last second, we learned that they were doing that, so we changed it, and then it was ended up being like, let's say 75% full because we didn't have enough time to sell out. And I thought that was our best crowd of the week.
Mhm.
So it's just every show is different, and I think we've really hit our stride with incorporating everybody and everything. I think,
Get a little confidence up there.
yeah, I really think more than anything, I say this all the time, but the live show is the number one example of it. If we were like 25, 26 again, and it was like this already, we could do that show 7 nights a week, and we'd have the energy to travel and party and all that shit. And I mean, I still think it's going to really snowball and become a very successful tour. And not that we were like
Speaking of Wilbur
and Connecticut. Wilbur has I think 100 tickets left out of like the 1,000. I think Stanford's like pretty sold
I
out.
haven't looked at anything.
I'm not sure. And then we've got in the fall, we've got Minneapolis, Detroit, and Buffalo. Now we scheduled Buffalo on a Sunday in football season, which that's the other thing we're still just figuring out. Every time we book something, we're like, well, we didn't think about that. Well, we didn't think about that. And we didn't think about Bill's Mafia on a Sunday. We were just trying to get the city and the theater secured. It's like, oh, there's a reason why November 17th is open, because no one's going to try to compete with the Bills on a Sunday in the city of Buffalo. However, opening day, we sold like almost over half the tickets. So we're like November 19th. So, maybe we'll get a bye. Maybe you play on Thursday or a Monday. Who knows? Maybe it's a day game and you roll right into the club absolutely fucking
Maybe you
hammered.
play on Thanksgiving.
Maybe you play on Thanksgiving. I think it would be cool if it was a 1 p.m. game and then you just come to the club.
Yeah.
Hammered.
Yeah.
Hammered.
The Bills always come in hammered anyway. But-
Yeah, that's true. So really, I think the one show only tour is really worth the time and money if everybody who comes. I mean, it's like weird. It's like people buy tickets, of course they're gonna like the show, but every show we make sure we kind of poll the audience and find out which people got dragged by a significant other, either a boyfriend or a girlfriend, who don't know our show. And those people, there's always like 5 or 6 of them every show. And every time those people come up in the meet and greet and say, I didn't know who you were. This is my first exposure to the show. And like, that was awesome. So it really, I feel like
it would be very strange if they were like hated it and it was like their significant other loves it. It's like, are you guys compatible at all?
at
Like,
all. Yeah. But
have
I,
a similar sense of humor.
like I could still see being like, okay, you can go get the picture. I'll take it. But they're always like, I want in on it too
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
So, and not by no means am I saying that there's been plenty of people doing live podcasts for a long time now, but we started doing them in 2016 maybe. I mean, the very first one was probably even earlier than that, the one at Saloon. And I really just wish we had like committed and done it like every fucking summer or every day or whatever, because by now we'd be, I think, even bigger. But we're always on some OG shit, figuring out things like as soon as possible. So I think we got the live show format and style down. So get your tickets: Boston, Connecticut, Minneapolis, Detroit, Buffalo, all in that order, a few months apart. So go get them. We're coming.
While you're listening, make sure you go check out the Barstool store. Or don't. I don't care. There's no Bruin stuff. Who gives a shit? I don't know. Go check out Sad Boy. Get Sad Boy season stuff, because I had so many Bruin shirts that I was going to put out, and now there are none, and we can't put out any. So go buy your Bruin. No, don't go buy your Bruin shirts, because you can't. You look ridiculous in a Bruin shirt. So go get your Sad Boy stuff. We got Rangers, Devils are still in it as I speak. By the time you listen to this, it will be someone different. I'm sure there will be one of the other gear. All kinds of stuff for the hockey playoffs, NBA playoffs.
Skeleton shirts.
Oh, plenty of skeleton shirts. It's skeleton shirt season. I saw a couple Miami Heat skeleton shirts out there. Get Am I the Asshole or Answer the Internet to fun, explicit board games to play. Do it all. Go to store.barstoolsports.com. Go.
Now, when we do go on tour, it's weird because like we just did 3 shows and talked about all these different things, and then but technically, it's only let's say like around like 2,000 people saw that.
Yeah.
So we have a huge audience that we didn't use some of this material on, and the some of them were just like news stories and shit that we can leave in the past. But the experiences we had in Texas, we went to
That thing squeaks all the fucking time.
all the time, right? Like now I hear it because I was like, you guys are. I'll be honest, I can hear it now. When I put on the podcast, I can't hear it. But I don't know if you have noise canceling and you listen to it all the way up.
Yeah.
You probably do hear it. I didn't hear it when I listened on the podcast. But if you can hear it, it's got to be a fucking disaster.
It's all over here.
Yeah. So we went to the National Funeral Museum in Houston. And it's extra loud right now, though, right? Right? I mean, it's always been that loud. It sounds like there's a goddamn
I wish
Tweety
to
bird.
God you never pointed it out. Oh, man.
It's always been this loud.
No way.
Ever since
I
one
would
person
never listen to
commented,
this
I've
show.
noticed it, and yeah,
I would stop listening to this podcast right away.
Yeah, this is a massive problem.
Stay, please.
I'm not even going to record. Like, let alone the podcast might end because of this.
When people are like, stop the squeaking, I was like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? Now I'm like, get me out of here.
I do love that people thought it was a chair and somebody was just like fidgety like that. It was like,
Well, I didn't.
But also-
I
but
thought
also-
that
That's what it was at the old studio.
that's what I was gonna say. It was like that was next
That's
door.
a valid guess. So we go to the National Funeral Museum, and there's a lot of shit. There's popes, there's presidents, all sorts of famous people and their funerals, and all these little
Paul Walker, R.I.P.
Paul Walker, Billy Mays here. Hi, Billy Mays here. He had a bucket of OxyClean next to him, so it has a bunch of trinkets and paintings and murals and statues of all these different famous people and famous things that died and the funerals that go along with them. But the very first thing when you walk in the door is the triple wide coffin built in 1930. I don't know where. Do you know where?
It did. I didn't say where. I don't think. You keep going. I will look up the picture because I have a picture that It was not readable during the shows.
Right.
But
so
it's readable on my phone.
This thing is enormous. It's about 3 humans wide.
Roughly.
It's about 2.5, to be honest, and you'll find out why. It's huge. So, like, and, think of your regular steady, like your regular rectangular coffin, and now just imagine it being a gigantic square.
It does not have where.
And this was in 1930. The little plaque described there was a married couple that tragically lost their small child, died, and they were so grief-stricken that the husband went to the funeral home and said, "Hey, buddy, me and homegirl just made a pact. I'm going to kill her and shoot myself. You got to bury all 3 of us in the triple wide." And when I tell you we were fucking howling laughing at that, cooler heads prevailed, and they eventually said, "You know what? We don't want to do it." And then they demanded a refund, as if this guy who just made a triple wide can do anything with it.
It's
Like, what am I going to
like
do
trying to
with
return
this?
a song.
It's been in your pussy,
It's like
rubbing your asshole.
this
You
got
cannot
some-
put this back.
a lot of baggage with it. I don't know if anyone else wants to fucking use this thing. I think of the.
I mean, it would be great for a fat person.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not, not deep enough, but I mean, the triple wide was
Dude, the fucking I was gonna say it reminded me the image I created in my head of the couple. It was like when Mac and Charlie commit suicide,
mhm.
and Charlie's explaining to Mac how he's gonna stab him in the throat, and then depending how gruesome that is, I'll do it
I'll
to
figure mine out, yeah.
myself. Like, just the husband sitting down with the wife, the nice bottle of fucking toilet wine or whatever they drank back then. Like, all right, babe, so I'll go get the musket and
See how that goes.
How brutal your fucking head
Oh,
goes.
God.
And then having to explain that to the funeral director, like the funeral director not reporting that to the police is
Crazy. The man was
I don't-
about to commit
it was-
murder.
and I was gonna say like, well, I don't know what the police situation was. Yeah, I do. It was the 1930s.
That's
My
what I mean.
grandmother was alive.
If
Like
it was like the 1700s, it'd be like there are no laws. Like I'm sure this happens all the time. Triple wides.
It wasn't worth reporting to the police that a guy came and said, "I'm gonna murder my wife."
It's very ancient Egypt, is what it is.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we all gotta go. We're all getting in the fucking tomb.
Guy's like, oh, I am hard up for money, so it's been a while since someone in town died. So sure, however I can get it, I guess I'll take these commissioned fucking caskets. I can't believe people who had coffins, who coffin makers weren't just murderers,
Yeah.
right? You got
Hey, you need a
full-on-
coffin? No, I'm good. Not anymore.
You got access to a bank whenever you need it. Like,
yeah.
I could really use about
Wow.
$300, whatever a casket ran back then.
That's a great point. I feel like government should have been like caskets should have been like government made back then. Like we only make them when we need them. You guys are just creating your own demand.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
insider trading.
The government should
coffins.
run caskets like they run money. Like,
Yeah,
we're
we'll
running
print it
low.
when we need it. Yeah.
Run the printing machines a couple more. Inflation's inflation.
So that was Houston, and then we were like, God damn! And there was a bunch of other things. There was this hot chick there that I said the Pope used to suck this guy's dick. She heard me, and she didn't like that. There was a 3-year-old child was there. There was a lot of
There
material.
was Martin Luther King's section at the funeral home is not great.
Martin Luther King got a tribute that Texas would approve of. Put it that way. Put it that way.
I do recommend checking out the funeral home. It is fun.
Museum.
Good time.
If you're in a
Museum.
yeah.
Yeah. Either or.
And then we go to Austin or Houston. I don't remember. I don't know. They all blur together. And we were like, how is this place going to provide us any sort of material? And there were like events going on at the hotel, conventions. And me and John hop on the elevator, and he goes, bro, something weird is going on at this hotel. And I said, you're fucking right, man. You're telling me. And it turns out we both were looking at wildly different things. He goes, there's just so many black men in dresses. And I go, there's a bunch of Asian kids wearing red. What are you talking about? And it turns out that at the same time at our hotel was the black trans community pageant, beauty pageant. And Vex Robotics was having the Robotics Championship of America at the hotel, which was, I don't know if it's strictly an Asian thing or they just dominate the field.
Yeah. If you're a white
But-
kid, you're not making it
Yeah.
on the regional. Like you're getting to local, maybe.
You're going to like the American Legion.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not going to the fucking convention hall in Austin.
If you make it past a robot contest at the Knights of Columbus, you are a fucking wonder kid.
Good for you. Yeah, yeah. Good for you. So those two things combined were happening all at once.
It's
it
where I
was-
first realized that I have an issue with the trans community.
Really.
Yeah.
It's a hilarious statement. Pray tell.
Well, because here's the deal, dude. Here's the deal. And don't worry, everyone. We'll be okay with this. Like, I'm sure everyone's like, what the fuck? I think we'll be okay. Maybe not. Maybe I'll say the N-word.
Can we just start calling it the M word and just keep calling it Mincy's?
Yeah, maybe I'll say Mincy's. And
You know what we should do? Is just make a supercut like the one of Rogan, where it's just like, and that's when Mincy said, and Mincy's, these Mincy's. What? I can't stand it. Mincy's. Like the Mincy supercut.
But the in life, I'm gonna speak for myself here. The most trans people I see are professionally trans. Your boy's got some numbers to delete. I mean, like actors, actresses.
Bro. Professional. You do this 24/7, dog.
Dude.
This is like a
Dude.
job for you.
Hey, what's up? Is
Putting
this
in
Rick's
work.
Cabaret? Yeah.
You ever want to go pro?
But they're people who are actors, they're celebrities, they're put together, have stylists, is what I mean. and every time you see someone,
Sure, so they like perfect clothing that
you're
fits their
like,
body
you're like,
perfectly
"Whoa,
and all that.
Damn,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Laverne Cox is what we're
Laverne
talking about.
Cox.
It's Laverne Cox.
And then,
Cox.
but then when it's like a lower level beauty pageant, you're like, dude, you can't be wearing a Forever 21 dress and those shoes. Like that is you're like ridiculous.
Come on.
It's like just seeing a celebrity on the red carpet, and then you're like, oh, this is what people look like.
Yep.
You guys have no fashion sense. I saw someone wearing a yellow dress and red shoes.
Come on.
No way can you pull that off. Who the fuck do you think you are, dude? Can't pull. That's crazy. That was crazy. They were outfits. I was like, no way do you have the legs to pull that off, dude.
Talking about grown ass men. Oh my god.
Come on, bro.
Come on. So
it's like Joey doing the weather. Come on, Joe.
that was Austin, man. That was Texas for us. Texas Forever Street. We had some good times. Went to the Joe Rogan's comedy club, Comedy Mothership. That was cool. They took your phone, so we didn't do any pictures or videos or anything like that from the club. So I don't have anything to show from that. But it was a good scene. It's for sure like a good club, obviously. But then you need the people in it. So as long as the talent's there, I'm sure that club will thrive because it is a well-made and like comfortable club.
I did not make that trip. I was home watching Bruins game 6, which they lost. Tough. It was the I was telling you in the airport yesterday that it was tough to lose a game. It's also tough to watch a playoff game in a hotel room because you have nowhere to sit and watch. So I just stood watching the game the whole time because you can't lay in bed.
You are crazy.
You can't lay in bed and watch a playoff game. You get too jacked up. And the chair's off in some random ass corner. Every hotel chair is just like for a cuck.
And jerk off.
No fucking hotel chairs make any goddamn
None.
sense. Like,
None.
you want to sit in the corner and watch your wife get fucked? That's the reason for that chair. No one else uses that chair for any reason at all.
Would you rather be a cuck or the bowl? I think it's called.
I mean, probably.
Yo, that was I think it's called. Is it the bowl?
I think it's called the bowl.
Oh, it's called the bowl.
Yeah.
I think I'd have a hard time performing as the bull.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like I'd get heckled. This is the fucking guy. This is how you want.
This is what's worth breaking up basically our marriage. Like, I think though, like just in a vacuum,
you're willing to go to hell for this. You're breaking the vows.
We're gonna violate the commandments.
You made a promise at an altar, and this is what you're breaking it for.
That's funny. That's a great skit. Fucking swinging gone bad or whatever. I think just in a vacuum, it's easier. Literally, I tried to put it in once. That's a bad idea. You ever done that? You ever put your dick in a vacuum?
Oh no.
Yeah, do that. It's scary.
I don't think so. Maybe when I was
I
really
put
young.
my
Never.
dick in
How old?
Like you know when
the age where you're sticking your dick in everything.
Yeah, I'd say that first era.
About 33.
But in my eras tour, it was my vacuum era was like 13. You know,
I definitely I might have like hit myself with it. By the way, speaking of hitting myself with it,
with your dick.
Yeah, like kind of just like as my mom was a vacuumer, so I never really was never a chore of mine. I was usually
Go back. What are you talking about? Hitting your dick with?
TSA. I got the full treatment of TSA.
Yeah.
And I was in linen
You got
pants.
those knuckles to your dick front.
Bro, he like the inspection is what it is. I'm sure plenty of people have had to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
I was wearing linen pants and like good dick briefs. I was fucking.
Extra for that.
I was popping that day.
Yeah.
Like,
be like, go ahead. You can check it.
Yeah, dude. When he hit, I was like, "That's right." But
all natural. There's nothing stuffed up there, buddy. That's just my.
I had like I had actually. If you're a TSA employee at the Austin airport around 10:30 yesterday morning, 10:30 Sunday morning,
you're welcome.
If you could get the footage of me with just an ear to ear, I mean, I felt uncomfortable how much I was smiling. Like, I had a full smile. I was like, I was looking around for you guys, hoping someone was filming it.
Oh man. So I think in a vacuum. Oh, and the vacuum thing. I put my dick in the vacuum and it like swelled up.
Your dick did?
Yeah, like I
I don't know why I thought it would have been
took it off quickly. It was like a shop vac. It was like the big one, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know.
You decided to fuck a black hole.
I was gonna say something about Mincy there, and I just let that one alone. It like I don't know, that seemed dangerous to me. It was like a chub, like a half chub, so it wasn't like hard, you know. So it like almost like filled up the space really quickly, and then all of a sudden I had like a chode for a second. And I was like, I ruined it. Like I broke my dick. Like I made it super wide. And then it's almost like silly putty or whatever. Like it's like kind of like slowly went back to its
Really?
form. Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck up a vacuum tonight. I gotta go buy a vacuum, but
It was creepy for a split second. I was just like, I don't know if it like sucked the blood in or like made the flesh go out.
You went the back alley Kylie's lip fillers with your dick.
Yeah.
And then people like sticking them in a water bottle. And, like,
Yes. Yeah. Oh. Yes. That's what I
Dude,
do.
that's
with my dick.
hilarious. That's so funny. I would subscribe to an OnlyFans of just people sticking their dick in vacuums.
Well, it's like, have you ever put your dick in a pump?
No.
Those are wild. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
Like it like
I only know of them from Austin Powers.
it is I mean it doesn't work because you take it off. But I don't know, it does like it,
You think if you used it right before you went from fucking
yeah.
pump to pussy?
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe it's like you probably pump it up and then you turn it off and you lose like 90% of that
Just
pump.
got that
but
extra
you
10,
keep
yeah.
10, yeah.
Yeah, you got to put a donut on the bat. you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. But it like kind of hurts for a second and it's like it just feels like you're doing something you shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like what if I'm the asshole who like blows up my penis? And then it's like
looks like a cartoon TNT shit.
Yeah,
Dynamite.
you just have the thing filled with your blown up dick, you know? And you have to go
Like
to
a
the
hot
fucking,
dog in the microwave.
yeah, it's a hot dog in the microwave. But to go back to you,
That was me.
Okay. I think it's easier to just sit there and masturbate, even if it's your wife or your girlfriend getting fucked. All I'm doing is literally sitting in a chair jerking off.
I don't think it can
Whereas
perform either way.
You got to perform, literally you have to be hard enough to fuck, and you have to do a good job and all that shit.
The at least with if I'm fucking with a soft dick, I have experience with that. If I'm just sitting there tugging on my soft dick, like sorry I can't get hard over here, and like really working to get hard as someone fucks my wife, that's embarrassing. Or is it more embarrassing to get hard right away?
I think it's hot to like see your girl get fucked,
Yeah,
but like the
dude, we're all having revelations here.
no,
I know
no.
professional trans people and
the insecurity in me like won't allow it.
Yeah.
But like the same, like I think it's like watching porn, but with your girl. It's hot.
I don't think I'd find that hot.
Well, no, like my reaction in the moment would be like, "Fuck, stop fucking that guy. That's not me." But if I again in a vacuum, if I could, if I could like just remove the circumstances, I'd like to watch my girl like
Have
make a
sex.
porn.
Yeah.
That's cool. You think that's cool?
I don't know that I do.
Like what if we got her one of those like real sex dolls? Like we're talking like it looks like it's real.
They're a
What if we're
robot.
doing some Westworld shit? And you watch her like do, fucking everything you like about porn, you watch your girl do it. It's not another guy.
I'd like to participate.
Well, maybe you can jump in there, but in the beginning, you
I
would
think
sit in a
I'd be
chair and
more
jerk off?
likely to have a threesome than just be an observer.
Okay. I'd imagine that's how most of those end. I think the porn ones are like, we're really just going to make you jerk off by yourself. I think eventually it's like, come on down, right? I don't know. Maybe the guys who are at the bowl, though, are like, I'm not fucking that dude. I'm fucking this girl.
Yeah, the porn examples I've seen, I don't stop calling me a fat slob. Like, you're getting too close to home with these insults.
Piggy oink oink.
I don't want to wear lipstick today. Stop degrading me. I think that's the issue. I think I handled the degradation myself. Like, I don't trust me. You're not fucking making me feel worse. I'm here and it sucks. Like, you could just be me sitting in a room alone and be like, look at this cuck pussy. Like, this fucking sucks.
Sucks.
Bro, you could film a cuck porn most days when I just get home and it's more demeaning than fucking someone's wife in front of them. It's just me sitting on my couch in the dark.
I mean, if you could watch like somebody masturbate, right? You could jerk off to that.
Like a chick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like she's
I
masturbating
do. I
with the
do.
dick,
I don't
you know?
care for the male jerking off. They do sometimes just be scrolling. Like, what the fuck is that out here
Yeah,
for?
Boy, we're just all over the place.
Anyway,
Okay, real quick, we'll do one. Am I the asshole? And then no, real quick, we'll do one Minute Man topic, and then we'll get into voicemails, and then who's our guest today?
Lewis Black.
Lewis Black.
Oh, yes! Today is Lewis Black Day, one of my favorite interviews we've ever done. The
Bro.
hands do wobble, like so. It really is perfectly like Lewis Black.
I am a Lewis Black. Lewis Black is one of my favorite comedians. Like one of my first favorite comedians.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
I think John Stewart
bro,
was probably my first.
talk about a man of my own heart. Like that guy is Ghost of Christmas Future for me, for sure. He just hates everybody, everything, but he does it in like a nicer way, which I don't think I've mastered yet. So that you're gonna love that interview, and he loved it. He was so like gracious and into
I
us.
want to say regular might be a bit of a stretch, but I think you're going to see a lot more Lewis Black on this.
He'll appear, yeah. If his age wasn't an issue, I think he'd be on all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like he's probably only going to come out every now and then. But so Lewis Black. But for 1 Minute Man today, we got one that I thought like John got duped or was like, this can't be real.
I definitely thought that too.
Woman has loud and full body orgasm during the LA Philharmonic concert. Now, what exactly is the Philharmonic? That's just like
Just like an orchestra. I think.
orchestra.
Yeah.
And they just play.
Their own music.
Their own
I think
originals?
sometimes they'll spice it up with a little like.
But these are just the cream of the crop when it comes to violins and cellos and all that shit.
Yes.
It's
but
not like there's no brass and drums and shit, is there?
Again, I'm not positive. I don't think so.
So
Maybe drum. I don't know about brass.
yeah, because it's probably those big old like timpanis
Yeah,
or whatever. Apparently, this woman during the performance of Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony, she experienced a loud and full body orgasm. Several concert goers described the woman's climactic moment Friday from the balcony at the packed Walt Disney Concert Hall. Everyone kind of turned to see what was happening, Molly Grant said, who was sitting near the overjoyed woman. I saw the girl after it happened, and I assumed that she had an orgasm because she was heavy breathing and her partner was smiling and looking at her like in an effort to not shame her. I hope that is, yeah. I think that's.
He got cucked by the LA Philharmonic.
So this is an audio clip we have not played yet, but this is apparently the clip of the woman coming during Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony. Started from the top.
That was a guy coming.
This
This sounds like when I come.
I might be a little woke because that was like right when there was a lull.
Yeah, but
And
that's
you-
all right when the fucking. Hey, and play it again. I feel like some. I can see the place vibrating a little bit in that first
Yeah.
part. I'm picturing her like the fucking like the
That's
owner's
so
wife in
awesome.
Talladega Nights. Remember? It's Molly Shannon. And she's like, she's just some drunk. And she's like, the only thing good about coming to these races is every 60 seconds when they do a lap, because I got the need for speed. And she's coming as the building's shaking. It's like when Larry makes fucking Jeff's wife come, when he makes Susie come. Because his seat in his car is broken and it's just rattling too much.
Dude, let's play it one more time. That is as graphic a cum as you'll ever fucking hear.
I think she's shit.
Ah! Yeah.
That's a shit. That's a shit, dude.
This woman just released.
That's a fucking.
It all came
That's
out.
like when you get one of those shits.
Oh.
It's like passing a kidney stone. That's hard.
Is that a ninja star? Is that a Chinese throwing star coming out of my ass?
This shit a rock.
I don't think they've like identified this woman or anything like that. They were just like somebody came to the theater. So shout out to her. Here's my question. The guy she was with made her come. She made herself come. Did the Philharmonic make her come?
I think it was a Philharmonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My guess, I think they did some. There's like those. You can like put a vibrator in now, and you can press play on your phone. and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
does
yeah.
like a
That's
vibrating.
A good prank. If your girl come at a funeral or some shit.
Yeah. I think that this couple went, and I would almost venture to guess. I would love this if like they made one of those vibration schedules and did it to Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony. Imagine that. Imagine like like Beethoven's like dun 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 dun, and your pussy's just like zzz, 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 zzz. That would be awesome. Imagine coming to Beethoven.
Be the first
And like
person.
you're there, you're all prim and proper. You're watching through one of those monocle things, and you're all decked out, and your pussy's just like. But yeah, shout out to Tchaikovsky still making the bitches wet all the way in 2023. All right, voicemails. What do we got?
Voicemails are brought to you by our good pals over at Pirate Water. We said earlier in the show that we had a lot of pirates show out to our live shows this past week, and we would like to see a lot more pirates. It is flying out there. It is getting nice. It's a perfect time to have your party in a can, be it the Bahama Mama, the Sex on the Beach, the Margarita, or the Miami Vice, all kinds of delicious flavors that get you going. I had a couple buddies come out to the show in Austin, actually, and they had some pirate waters, and they were like, holy Jesus, Johnny, this stuff gets you there. They're Irish, not pirates. But they were very impressed. They found it exceptionally delicious. They found it exceptionally alcoholic. As I said, it is a party in a can, so make sure you get it. Go to drinkpiratewater.com. It is going to be everywhere. Every beach you're on, every Speedo you see, there will be a pirate water nearby. Make sure you go get it. It is going to be perfect weather for pirate water. It's always perfect weather for pirate water. Drinkpiratewater.com. Find the location nearest you. It's in Walmarts. It's at corner stores. It's everywhere. Look for the hot can and buy it. Thank you. Or order it on GoPuff if you want to stay in and just get your buzz on, which is kind of how I like to do it. Order on GoPuff or drinkpiratewater.com. Find it closest.
KFC, fights, Nick, Pavs, Jackie. Follow up to the Holocaust French fries question from last week. We were talking about it at the bar this week. Do you think Anne Frank knew what French fries were or has eaten French fries? Viva.
Yeah. It's not like she was born in the attic.
It's not like she's Helen
Keller,
Keller.
that fraud.
Like
Helen Keller knew what French fries was. She knew how to order them. She knew how to say them. She knew how to eat them. She knew everything about them. Helen Keller was just a little bit stupid. That's it.
yeah, dude.
Like we're not talking about like she was born and never got to go out in society.
Also, how did fucking French fries get the name French fries? Because guess what? They were born in Belgium.
Yeah, I don't know that either. That's
Born in the Belgian winters of
we
1680.
say freedom fries around here.
So yeah, 1680. She was noshing on all kinds of French fries.
Yeah, I mean, that was like one of the things that like I feel like potatoes are one of the things that like humans fucking did.
Yeah.
You know, like chop these up, fry these up, boil these up, whatever, however you cook them.
Yeah,
Bake 'em up.
I'd venture to guess. I think French fries are getting worse. I bet because I like an old school style French fry, like a thick steak.
Yeah,
fry.
yeah.
So I bet Anne Frank had way better French fries than you ever had.
I don't know about that because we're talking like crispy, deep fried oil goodness.
But that's not the style I like. So I get it.
Yeah.
But I like a French fry that's just basically a thinly sliced potato.
Yeah, but that's hard to come by.
Yeah, my favorite French fries are the ones I make myself. I don't know if you call them French fries, but I take a potato and I slice them thin. And I bake them in the oven.
How long?
Usually 22 minutes. A little olive oil, some
Mhm.
paprika, salt, pepper.
Do you ever put them in a brown bag afterwards with salt and shake them up?
No.
Oh, that's what you gotta do. You just salt them regular.
Yeah, it's all in regular.
Put them in a brown bag. I don't know why it's got to be brown, but it's got to be brown. And then because the oil and grease kind of like seeps through a little bit,
Yeah, yeah.
and you shake it with the salt. Do some brown bag fries.
I never even heard of this. That's like a
Oh,
thing.
mama. My dad. My
Yeah, does
dad's the thing my dad does. I think his family did it. I don't know if it's like a thing for other people, but it is delicious, dude.
Place in Belgium was because it was like they were trying to make like chips or something.
Yeah, it makes
Mhm.
sense.
And then the guy was like, make them like these are too thin. Like one like the head chef or something. I have no idea the details, but the head chef was like, make them thicker. Like you were making them too thin. And then he was like, fine. Like was being a dick and was just like over like it like made them like obviously like really thick. And then the customers were like, wait, this rocks. And then that's how they got made. I think I have nothing to back that up. But
No, that sounds right. That checks out.
What
Jackie, fun facts.
Jackie killed it this weekend. Jackie, your segment probably got the biggest like pop, biggest like.
It always does.
There was a rumble.
It's the
it's
the
so funny
Jackie.
'cause every single time I was just like, I'm gonna do it. I was like, that
You
sucked.
mean you're nervous?
What do
Oh.
you mean you're gonna do it? You're gonna do
Like, I'm gonna
what?
kill myself. Like,
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I thought you meant. I just wanted to make sure.
Two very different things going on. I was like, thought you were like saying you were hyping yourself up. I was like, but no, this sounds negative to me.
no.
Yeah, that's the perfect spot for you to live, where you think you are. You don't. Stay right there, Jackie. Never leave.
No,
Where you don't get too
that
confident, but you don't
suicidal
actually kill yourself.
tendency.
Don't
Live
kill
right
yourself,
there.
but don't get confident.
Yeah, yeah. Always
That's the KFC
always
radio
have
way.
your toes hanging over the edge.
Yeah, but don't ever go.
Yeah.
Always just stay that way. I think it's always important to remember this as well.
You just wake up, you suck. You go to bed, you suck, and that's fucking life.
Done, baby. That's it. Wake up, you suck. Go to bed, you suck, and that's fucking life. Put it on the tombstone in the funeral museum. Next up.
KFC radio crew. I was listening to KFC's story about Oliver, stupid white people stuff, and throwing a dead person on a horse to take them back to their family in the Oregon Trail days. Reminded me of a story, a town in northern Missouri, tiny town. The founder of that town, Wilhelm Kiel, decides that he's going to leave Missouri for Oregon. He's going to take his family and some other people from town. This is in the 1850s, so you're talking horse, covered wagon. The only problem is his son died a few days before they left, and he had promised his son that he was going to take him to Oregon no matter what. So they put him in a coffin, fill the coffin with whiskey, and put him in the lead wagon for the trip. We're talking 6 months, 2,000 miles, which leads me to a would you rather. Would you rather recreate that trip or instead do another disgusting dead person thing and have a sour toe cocktail? Viva.
Oh, sour toe cocktail. I want to try a sour toe cocktail.
What's a sour toe cocktail? That's
It's
a real
like
thing?
it's like a shot with a dead dude's toe in it. I don't know what the real specifics of it are.
But it's actually a dead toe?
Yeah,
It's like the worm, but it's a dead toe?
I would do a sour toe cocktail for sure. I don't know what I'm looking it up right now. A sour toe cocktail is practically a rite of passage for visitors of Dawson City, Yukon. It's a simple drink, a shot of whiskey, usually Yukon Jack, with an unusual accompaniment, a mummified human toe. How did the sour toe cocktail come to be? It all started in
Like, you have
Prohibition.
to eat or drink the toe? Or
Within
eat at
that,
the bottom?
it's a frostbitten toe, so it's not a regular thing. It's one toe. Where do they get the toes of sour cocktails? One of their big toes, any toe is allowed, came from a British Marine who lost it to frostbite during the Yukon Arctic Ultra Marathon last winter. That was in 2019, so it happened in 2018. More recently, another man donated a toe that he lost to gout. It's in Yukon, Canada, is where it is. For anyone who's likes to drink, like that's sour toe cocktail is kind of like that's your Everest. That's like you did something. I do a sour toe cocktail for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I have no problem recreating that trip either. By the way, I would like this to become a thing. Like people call in with fun random facts, like Jackie with how the French fry got started, or with this gentleman with the 1850s moving from was it Missouri to work on.
Yeah.
I think this is fun. I like learning things like that. So if voicemails, if you want to call in with some weird fun facts that you just happen to know,
Okay.
I would appreciate that.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah, hit us with like your best. Did you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
But also just like, does a tub of whiskey mummify somebody? I don't think so. It's just a fucking waterlogged body that gets.
Yeah, well, as we learned, they used to just pump you full of whatever they could find. They did used to just throw bags of ice on you.
That works
They
for,
did that for a little while.
as long
Yeah.
as a beach day lasts.
Right. Right, you can't go to Oregon with that. Next up,
Last one.
last one.
What's up, KFC, Feidelberg, Paz, Jackie, the whole fucking crew. You know we're out here. We're out here drinking pirate water. And guess what we're fucking doing? We're getting motherfucking pegged. Out here with the merch. Shit's fucking fire. Last words, you guys were talking about what you would bring to an island if you had to eat fucking Feidelberg. He's bringing mangoes. You know he is. Last words, if your plane is crashing in the ground to the whole plane and you got to stand up and say something, what are you saying? Is it going to be funny, serious? And then another aspect, would you rather crash on land or crash on water?
First of all, it doesn't matter. You crash on land or water. You crash on water, you're still crashing on land. It is hitting the water at that speed is crashing on land.
I think you can like land it like Sully though.
I mean, you're crashing.
Okay. I think I was thinking of it more like if you hit the side of a mountain, you're fucking cooked. If you like have like a flat, river or whatever to like try to land on, you at least have a chance.
Yeah, I guess.
Like if you're going down in a mountainous range, you're done. Even if you like land on your belly, like
Right.
yes, if you just nosedive, both of you're cooked.
Right.
But if you can try to like land flat, but like mountains and trees and shit ain't gonna let you do that at all.
I would my last words would just be, what are you all freaking out about? I would turn into like someone yelling in a town square if my plane was crashing and everyone's like, wow, what are you doing?
Yeah, like
That's
it's not gonna help anything.
there's
here.
like it's over, guys.
I think that
why go out sad?
I don't think we can ever tell this because all of them are dead. I would bet you there's a lot of peace and tranquility. As many people screaming and yelling, there's people like
going Jack's tell with it.
yeah, not even like I want to die or whatever,
It's just
but
like,
just
yeah,
being
right.
like,
I'd be going around going, dude, get your head out of your knees. That's not gonna help.
right, yeah.
Like-
you only have like let's say a minute or whatever, which is probably a long time in the moment, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not. You have the first 30 seconds you're probably screaming and yelling, and maybe the last 30 seconds you're like, I can't do anything, so let me just like remember the good times and
I'm
maybe
sure
like mall rats whip out your dick and start jerking off.
No, I'd just get a nice glass of whiskey and just sit there and
grab
be
the
like,
girls
this is
next
it.
to you, grab her titty, whatever.
Obviously we're talking in hypotheticals, but that's what I think I'd just be like, look, there's this seatbelt only
Yeah,
serves to cut
hypotheticals.
me in half. Like there's
Yeah,
the seatbelt's doing nothing. There's no control of this, and I'm a person who's fine when I'm not in control. I'm like, I don't know, what can you do? There's that's obviously an extreme circumstance, but I think I'd have a glass of whiskey and I'd turn into like a preacher, being like you guys are all stupid. What are you doing?
yeah. Stop.
Stop
Cut it out.
Everyone relax.
Cut it out.
We got 2 minutes left. There's no point in going out screaming. Let's just fuck it. Everyone have a drink.
Calm down.
And we calm down. I wouldn't jerk off. I wouldn't be like, so I gotta fuck for it. I'd be like, let's just everyone
Relax.
chill.
Be cool.
It's almost over.
Be cool. When you started the Daily Show, that was like the early stages.
1946.
It was the
It was
the
very
beginning of the show.
beginning.
Yeah. Okay. So and that Jon Stewart and you guys
97, I
were
think it
was
was.
97. Yeah.
And we started at a studio without an audience.
Really.
Really?
Wow.
It wasn't Jon Stewart.
It
It
was-
was Craig Kilborn.
Right.
Yeah.
How long did he do it for?
Long enough to give me a headache. Wow. I mean, he was whatever. He didn't know the jokes. I'm sitting there going, really? I didn't get the gig? He did not. The whole idea was just to have some sort of a kind of, that vanilla-y,
Yeah.
kind of guy who, looked like the people on
Supposed
on
to look like
news and
the
stuff.
anchor. Yeah.
Well, God in
Yeah.
heaven.
Oh, I guess he did that.
You just didn't,
Well, he
know what
replaced
to
him
judge.
with, Jon
Yeah,
Stewart.
and
was
Jon Stewart,
fucking,
yeah.
He's still out here doing it to this day.
Yeah,
just
but then again, to give you an idea, of, I was of me. I was like, I'm on the show, okay? Could you just do a fake audition? Just pretend that to pretend that, give me a shot at it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to pick Jon Stewart. But, I've already been on the show a while. Couldn't you just pretend to do that? I mean, both times. And then when John left, it was like, let me sit in the seat. You don't even have to be, you're not going to hire me. Just put a camera in front of me.
Oh, it should have been you. That's that would have been much
show.
A little bit different for sure. That is for fucking sure.
I think by the end of, especially at that point in my life, the set would have been destroyed within a year. What? I'd throw the chair. But I mean, John did it. I mean, John's job, he did a hell of a job. I mean, he really managed it. It's so kind of a micromanager, and that can be a pain in the ass, but he was really brilliant at it.
Yeah, I mean, you were able to just come in, though, and just fucking drop bombs and then, cut out.
Yeah, it was a pretty good gig.
Yeah, I would say so.
It still was a good gig.
Yeah,
and being involved with something like that, do you ever, not an out-of-body experience, but do you ever, like, separate yourself and realize, like, change the world is dramatic, but, like, for my generation, for me at least, like, it changed the way I consumed news.
Totally. I mean,
Like,
The Daily Show, what you guys do with The Daily Show is absolutely, inflection point of society or something where it left an impact for sure.
I'd never seen something like that where it was like, oh, I didn't even know you could make fun of those people. I didn't know you could like point out the stupid shit they say. And again, maybe maybe it was happening before then, but that I was at the age where that's where I started realizing.
Well, exactly. Well, Carlin did it. I mean, Lenny Bruce did it. Mort Saul did it. There was a whole bunch of guys. This guy, Mark Russell. This comic that a lot of people don't know would sit at a piano in Washington D.C. and sing these really funny songs about these idiots, and then and then do the commentary. So it was always kind of present in the air. There's a magazine called The Realist, which you should look up because it's really that was my Daily Show. It was like. Holy fuck! And I was so glad my parents didn't find this. It was like worse in a way than that if I had Playboy under my bed. 'Cause it was they had he had a thing. He had a guy who did a portrait of all of the Disney characters, right? But doing the filthiest things you can imagine. But it looks like when you're looking at, I've got it at home. I got it in color. Because you could get it in
had
color.
It blown up.
I had to leave it. I did it after I got out of my parents' house because they couldn't handle it. But it was just this spectacular array. Like Mickey Mouse is shooting up, and Goofy's getting a blowjob from Daisy Duck. I mean, it's like bizarre. And Dumbo's flying and shitting on everybody. But when you're looking at it initially, you go, oh, fuck. And so that kind of stuff. And I do think that it had an effect. And I think it not only did that, I think it also, I didn't realize that it had the effect you said. It also had that effect of being able to step away from all the bullshit that went on all day and go, oh, this is ridiculous.
Right.
These people are idiots.
All right, big thanks for watching. If you made it through this whole episode, that means you should be subscribed. There's so many of you out there who watch and don't subscribe, so make sure you are a KFC Radio subscriber. Make sure you get all the content when it drops. Click that button now.
I have 9 fingers. I'm still subscribed. It's that easy.